Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to Saving Often with Part 6 of Obduction. I am Rick, joined again, as always, by my good pal David.
Hey, we're done blue balling you with jungles, so I hope you're as psyched as I am.
Yes, the Jungle Planet prophecy will finally come to fruition here. So let's do a little recap of Part 5. We didn't quite manage to activate the tree on Captar last week, but we did dig up some interesting new developments. We found 3 new teleportation seeds. One of those seeds took us to Carolyn Farley's room in Hoonrath. Another took us to the button that opens the door on Murray, where we are now. And the last one led us to the stone sphere in Hoonrath near the generator, where we got to dick around by rotating it for a while and eventually left, wondering what exactly we had accomplished. We also found a 4th machine that was bereft of seed, but it looks like this might have been used to access the Mofang's homeworld, or possibly to escape from it. We rejoin our hero, ourselves, as we meander through the now open door on Murray, finally fulfilling a promise we made all the way back in Part 3.
My favorite hero is me, myself.
Don't panic. This is the best way to keep everyone safe. Just stay on this path and cross the first bridge. Then keep going until you get to that sign-in area. You'll get more information after you sign in.
The view screen feels very cramped.
Don't panic. This is the best way
Yeah.
to keep everyone safe. Just stay.
So,
We're supposed to cross this bridge that doesn't function.
yeah, there's no bridge here. Something tells me we're going to have to turn this bridge back on.
Rick, how do you feel if I describe Mist in Obduction as an isekai?
I don't know what that means, so I will just smile and nod.
Isekai is a genre of anime where a character is thrown into another world.
Well, then, yeah, by that definition, absolutely.
Usually the connotation, though, is that you're going to go to, a high fantasy setting where you are, assaulted into the relationship of a harem of women.
That part, not so much. But I see our laser in the distance.
And is there another seed so we can leave immediately?
Well,
Back to Hoonrath.
it looks like we're going back to Hoonrath.
Have we exhausted all of the paths we can take? I can't believe that Cyan keeps doing this to us.
They're not doing it to us, they're doing it to our viewers. They're the ones we should feel bad for. That's really it.
We gotta really work just to get our jungle. Oh, you like that taste, huh? Well, you're gonna have to subscribe for real if you want to get into the jungle. This DLC pack doesn't come cheap, my friend.
Oh, man.
I hope you enjoyed your demo.
So, what's this seed going to take with us, and where's it going to put us? I guess we're going to find out.
It worries me that we're bringing a chasm with us. But it may be something where we just need to double back with maybe a bridge that we're stealing from Hoonrath.
That's very possible.
Yeah, it looks like we have taken a natural bridge away from Hoonrath.
Where exactly are we? We're near... Oh, okay, so we're near the other one. Yeah, I think this was a bridge to nothing, so... Okay, so maybe it's not as bad as we thought. Maybe we'll actually be able to cross further into Murray.
This may be just a object lesson in hey, do you remember the mechanic that we've tried to establish already? Maybe it's possible to have gotten this far without doing what we've already done in terms of swapping terrain.
Maybe. I do find the terrain swap mechanic very interesting, though.
It definitely wasn't a verb that I expected to have at our disposal.
Mm-hmm. That didn't change anything for us here, did it? I
No,
don't
the
think so.
sphere, like, here seems too small to affect anything.
Mm-hmm. Oops, this way. Okay, yeah, so that gave us a bridge. Nice.
There's some nice flowers. Can't pick them up.
Nope. Why would you want to? We don't need things.
You wouldn't want to be over encumbered.
That's right.
I mean, this camera is already pretty heavy. This makes me think about how in Myst, like, you can't have more than a single page at a time.
Hey, the new version of that changes that.
Oh, does it?
It does. Bonk.
You know, we haven't eliminated the barrier, the jungle barrier.
Right.
What world do you think is on the other side there?
That's a good question. I would assume that it's still the same thing, just maybe...
Well, usually, like, before you take down the barrier, it tends to, like, peek out at another one of the
that's true.
worlds. The color tone strikes me as maybe being the temple world.
Yeah, this might be Captor that we're looking at. Just by virtue of all the rocky outcroppings. But yeah, Myst 2021, whenever you pick up a page, it just it teleports back to the library and goes onto the mantle next to the book, so you never have to worry about carrying pages, which is really nice for the Selenitic age, so you don't have to do that stupid friggin' Maze Runner puzzle twice. Oh, we have a musical cue.
We got a nice little base here of some description. Probably more so a starship.
I wonder if this technology is of the Mofang.
That seems likely, at least that was my first instinct. That's our laser boy. Can we adjust this thing? Like, is this like a piloting wheel?
No, come back. There you go. All right.
Well, that was quicker than I anticipated.
This be unexpected. Good. But happy. Good. Very good time to come here now. I am not knowing who you are, but I could use help. Watch. I am trapped. Not can move. These beasts, called villains, they are much danger. Just look around. They live below water. And they are storing us for food. You will see as you go. Come. I cannot be here. Find a way to me. And I can figure this out.
That guy is being controlled by a Mofang.
Absolutely.
Like, the syntax of all his speech really lines up with the description of how the Mofang speak. I don't know if he's actually being puppeted, or maybe like the human appearance is just like some kind of camo technology.
That's what I was thinking. That maybe Josef was indeed a Mofang changeling all along.
I'm doubt that. I feel like that Josef was like he was more eloquent than that for sure. But even if he had like a very heavy accent,
He was, unless somebody scripted it for him.
that's possible. But I don't think that he would like integrate into the community as thoroughly as he did, enough to become mayor anyway. If his speech patterns aligned enough casually to be mistaken for a Mofang.
We shall see. Let's see, we haven't gone this way. Or that is the way that we came. Okay, so we haven't gone this way.
Josef's actions certainly are suspicious from what we understand of his short tenure as the mayor. But my impression is that it comes more out of cowardice than anything.
Well, here's another bridge.
Yeah. Guess you're gonna have to get to the other side first.
I don't know how I feel about the canonical pronunciation being villains.
I do think villain is probably a little less on the nose, but maybe, calling them villains is supposed to be a red herring. 'Cause I do feel like that this desperate plea is supposed to goad us into assuming that the villains are the villains.
Yeah, agreed.
I do appreciate when like it's kind of clear that the constructions like this were designed explicitly to take advantage of the weird warping mechanics of the bubbles.
Yeah.
Is this a different ship or is it the same one?
This is a different ship. I don't recognize any of these gewgaws.
What do you think they're for? Are they like seating? They look like you get strapped in there, but they don't look very comfortable.
Yeah, either seating or
Maybe it's just like it's just where you put your armor vest, your little football guard when you're not using it.
That's what I was thinking, was that it was an equipment rack of some kind.
Sorry. Are you waiting for some purpose? I'd prefer you hurry.
Oh, well.
Listen, you're in the fridge. They're saving you for a snack later. I'm still trying to figure this place out. Maybe if you give me some, directions, I'd get there a little faster.
Oh, no.
Well, given how the outside shield worked, I think you're just going to be trying to figure out what combination is going to make a full walkway.
Oh, it's that easy, huh?
We're getting there. Oh, that was a bad one. I mean, obviously, that's mathematically impossible, Rick.
What was I thinking? Okay. I don't know what I did.
We trialed and errored that. I mean, the bridge looks like it's not fully formed, so this is good enough.
Ooh, 2 seeds. Did I miss anything over here? Oh yeah, there's another
There's
bridge
another
here.
one.
Oh, this looks like the
This
looks
might
like a
be the
shortcut.
tutorial.
Yeah.
And it's like you've only got so much ship power to do it correctly.
Was it like that?
Good enough for government work, as they say in Grim Fandango.
Okay, cool. So that's a shortcut back to here. Good to know.
Let's see, where can we go?
Well, this seed would take us to Hoonrath.
Very popular destination.
And this one also takes us to Hoonrath. But this one takes more with us.
So if we take the other orb seed with us, is that also going to take us to Hoonrath?
Let's try the small one first and see what happens. I'm curious if the large one will take the small one too. Okay.
You've got a nice little cylinder for your junkyard. I don't recall, like, in the junkyard having a seed.
It didn't. It didn't. This was the turnaround. We've just basically transported our junk onto the onto the ship.
So that doesn't feel like it's going to be the solution unless there was a really cool piece of junk that we forgot about. How much radiation do you suppose we're absorbing from all these particles floating around?
I would say old snake and a microwave corridor levels of radiation.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're screwed, buddy.
We just can't see how, just figured we're being...
We didn't have access up here before, did we?
We'll look at the book. I think that's the manifest for the junk.
Maybe it is. Yeah, this is the junk manifest. Okay. Okay, so we did have access up here before. But why would we want to take this entire sphere to the junkyard? And what will happen if we take the small one back?
That felt like a very junk-centric tease for the next episode.
Well, we've only been recording for about 20 minutes, so unfortunately, we'll have to continue. Oh man, look at all this junk. I feel right at home.
This is how we, force this on the Mofang. Were we able to get to that other thing?
We were not. So there was basically an inner dome here that teleported out, and now we have access to another thing. Nice.
I love it.
Whoa. It's an elevator.
Calm down. I didn't get it, whatever I did.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm just going to put that back. This is none of my business.
Rick, you act like this is not totally in the spirit of something that Cyan would pull.
Oh no, it absolutely is. We've been building ourselves up to this moment the entire game. I'm going to go this way.
Do you still feel that you really find this mechanic interesting and exciting? The whole...
I'm going to withhold my statement. Oh no, there's nothing I can do over here. I have to go that way.
It's probably not that bad, Rick. It's going to be probably just like the last one, where you just teleport some garbage here and then it solves the problem. We can't go down again, can we? This one probably just calls the elevator. No, it's just up and down. You could really just have had one button and it would have been fine.
Such a satisfying noise.
Yeah. Try rising the elevator while you're off of it and see if you get any like cute little Easter egg.
I don't think I can reach.
Oh, get longer arms. I mean, if you could put your camera down, maybe you could grab a stick and try it, but...
This isn't the tower rotation in the Fortress of Mist, okay? You can't go halfway. All right. Well,
what is it all Hoonrath again? Have you got any buddies? Hoonrath?
So this will take the small inner circle here to Hoonrath.
This probably takes this particular orb.
Yeah, this is absolutely of Hoonrath. And it'll take this orb, and this will probably take parts of both, if not the entire circle. Yeah, okay.
So the question is, where do we want to start? We want to take the whole sphere?
Why don't we start with this piece? Since it originally came from Hoonrath, this might help us make some sense of where we're going. Yeah, like I said, this is going to take us somewhere completely new.
It's even more orbs.
Oh.
These are probably all the same orbs.
No, they're not the same orbs, but they do the same thing. We're going to have to manipulate several pieces of this. Oh, man. And we can rotate them?
Well, I mean, if we can rotate them, we can probably clear out the passageways to the north or south or east or west, depending on our actual orientation.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe there are tunnels that we can use to try and get over there and activate some bridges.
Wow. Okay. What are you thinking here?
Well, the question is, like, if we're trying to open up a path, do we want to be taking, like, the little alcove going upwards from here to the jungle planet? Because, like, that could maybe open something up in the sphere? Or do we need basically, like, I don't know, if, we're either trying to progress on Murray or we're trying to progress in Hunrath here. So it's kind of a question of if we take the outer sphere here, is that going, where would we want it to be pointing? And if we're trying to take the caves just here, where do we want that little these alcoves to go to? And then this works first time and you have to do any rotation whatsoever.
If only. Okay, so yeah, this took the entire thing here. This is now an open door that could lead us to a bridge. Which, that looks like that might be the red laser over there. I don't know. It looks like a device pointing up toward the sky.
Yeah, that likely was the red laser.
And then again, bridge over here to other seeds.
Mm-hmm. And this is where we came in. So this roughly is equivalent to...
So is this swinging it? It's swinging
it seems like it's going 180 degrees.
180 degrees, yeah. Well, that's nice.
So if we can only flip it, what can we accomplish with that? Like, it's clear that we're not going to be able to do anything with the Hunrath Cavern as it is currently here.
Yeah,
so we
that's
might have to...
what I'm trying to understand. Like, what... I can kind of see what we're trying to accomplish as far as needing to rotate this to activate a new path, but...
What I would probably suggest is getting the sphere back and then trying to do this again, but with the initial teleports having been flipped.
How do you mean?
So, like, basically reverting what we did just now, like flipping the orb, the Murray orb, and then going back and then bringing the cave back and seeing if that changes anything, if that affects the orientation we have.
I'm not sure how to accomplish that.
I swear, it sort of makes sense in my brain.
I'm sure it does. This is just...
And a lot of things that don't make sense do make sense in my brain.
This is just tripping me up. So if I take this portion only, then when I spin it, I'll still have access to the seeds while we're on Hunrath.
Mm-hmm.
Because taking the whole thing puts a wall up, and there's no way that I can get back into the seeds.
Right.
So if I do this... Oh, well, this also put a bridge mechanism here.
We want to basically put this in front of each of the bridges, I guess.
No. Was it like that? Like that. Oh, I missed one. Okay. That's another Hoonrath seed.
That will likely take us to where we can activate a bridge on Hoonrath to the cavern and further complicate our options.
And we can probably flip this around and do the same thing on the other side now.
And does it keep the bridge you formed with the controls if you do that?
It does.
Well, that's handy. I was worried it's going to be like, well, you're going to need to do this every single time. I'm glad we trialed and errored our way into having a solution to this bridge puzzle as opposed to, like,
figuring
having to
it
figure
out.
out what is actually meant.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, this was the red laser.
This is here for narrative purposes more so than serving any purpose currently.
Unless the bridge is necessary to traverse this new area. So what do you say? This seed?
Yeah, let's go over and see if we can like get that bridge. I'm just trying to imagine the human Mofang group project that led to this whole contraption.
Yeah.
Okay, doesn't seem like there's any controls to get over there. And this is locked from the other side.
Okay. So what purpose does this serve?
I mean, I think that eventually we'll be able to use this as a shortcut. So I guess we got to revert back to our previous plan in terms of like trying to make a hole on Hoonrath or in the rotating section so that we can try to see if we can access any place new.
Mm-hmm.
So if we rotate this 180 degrees, does it create a third? Does it basically like flip where we can actually access anything? Take the medium one.
This one?
I think that's the medium one. All these mo-fangled contraptions all look the same to me.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I totally meant for us to do that.
Nice. Okay. So if
we
were
could theoretically do that for the other side as well.
Yeah. Okay, this was the side that we just took, I believe. Because this is the door that we were just looking at.
Yeah.
That is latched from the other side. So, do we need to go back?
At a glance, I figured that's going to be a dead end, but I think we should just do it, just for the sake of completion.
Yeah, we need to...
I will feel better about ourselves if we have a pointless bridge in place.
Yeah, we need to find out what's over there. There will be no mint leaves on my watch.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to explain that reference to our viewers, or did we already do that?
So we were playing, we do what we call Adventure Game Book Club with some friends every Friday night, and we go through adventure games together. And we were playing through King's Quest VI, and our devious scoundrel friend Wilco was piloting the game. And there was one thing that he missed, one simple little optional thing that he missed, and he did it to spite us, and specifically our friend Suha. He did not take the mint leaf from the Isle of the Sacred Mountain intentionally, because he knew that it was going to grind our gears. So now, among us, mint leaf or minty is a synonym for salty, and we will never let him forget it, nor will he let us forget it.
I was appreciative when we were doing King's Quest IV just this past Friday that you didn't put us in a similar situation. I was worried.
No.
Those last, like, solitary couple points were almost denied.
Listen, I have more couth and decorum than to intentionally leave adventure game points on the table. I would be remiss if I did not poke around. Remiss, yes. All right.
That'll be the next reissue.
I've gotten this pattern down pretty quick, though.
Yeah. It's still funny to me that it's like, it's not the perfect pattern, but, you know, it gets the job done.
Oh, there's a note here.
What do we got? Has it got a code? Does it say cool things?
Hello, Oleg. The gauntlet area is complex. It was meant to be. The villain intended it to provide friction. The idea is to slow down any mass movement within the world, now that we have begun to have suspicions. You'll notice that they have reformed and extruded entire areas to confuse and slow down any mass attack. Your task will be to reset all the locks in the gauntlet before being potted. Farley. Please keep this to yourself. I used a shade of blue ink that is not easily visible to the Mofang.
So the Mofang can't see blue very easily, and also this is foreshadowing what I'm assuming is going to be a hell puzzle to come.
Yeah, if we're not in it already.
Well, we believe that the Captar is the Villain homeworld, right?
No, Captar is the Arai homeworld, as you recall the bugs. Unless they just
I still think they're an invasive species because I don't think that the temple would have been constructed by the bugs. I think that their like little nest near the tree is more so like what their constructions are going to look like.
Yeah, but didn't this weird Negan Josef just mention that the villain were an underwater species primarily? And there's not really any water on Captar.
That's true.
Anyway, we have our bridges opened now.
Yeah. So we can go back and I think our objective still is to flip that little cave nook to the other side.
I think you're right. But if I spin this as is, I don't think that I'm going
Right.
to have access because I brought the whole cave with me.
Right.
So let's see here. We want to turn this specifically. What if we take this back? Let's take this back and then use the center one to come back here, because then the cave walls won't be in place, but we'll still be rotating the opening. I think that makes sense.
We'll find out, and then if we're wrong, we'll embarrass ourselves publicly.
It's okay. If I didn't want public humiliation, I wouldn't have signed on as an adventure game Let's Player.
Do you think that it's like more humiliating to like fail, like getting stuck on a puzzle for a long time, or like in an action game just getting completely like wasted?
I think it's most humiliating to be stuck on a very obvious, easy puzzle, such as pulling levers toward you instead of assuming they only go one way so that you can turn on a giant piston machine.
Yeah, I think that with an adventure game Let's Play, it's like there's one designated solution, and anybody who solved it, or at least, knows the solution by some means, can just be screaming in the comments that you're being a complete idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in an action game, it's based on reflexes, so you might screw up, but there's still enough entertainment in just like slamming the bad guys that people are not going to be going like, "Oh, you totally missed that headshot."
Yeah.
You're supposed to like line up the cursor on like put the little reticle on the bad guy's head. That's how you win the game.
You know the bullet is supposed to go toward the enemy, right?
Right.
I think I misinterpreted something here, so I'm trying something else. You know the car in the race car game is supposed to go forward, not backward, right? You understand that, right?
You're supposed to like get ahead of the other racers. When Lakitu tells you you're going the wrong way, he means it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if this does what I hoped it would do. I'm assuming this is going to take the door back to the mine, except in the other direction, potentially opening up another pathway, as you suggested. No, it did nothing.
They're very excited. Ooh, no, absolutely not.
Nope. Nope. Unless I'm supposed to do... Let's see. Let's take this one back.
Since we're likely to suffer a few more loading screens here, I just want to deliver another ice-cold adventure game take and say that Inherit the Earth, The Quest for the Orb, is a really boring adventure game from 1994. If you're going to play a game from 1994, probably do Super Metroid instead. Just like, that's my suggestion to you.
That's a great
idea.
idea.
Everybody's hopping to get on the Quest for the Orb train, but it's not that great.
What didn't you enjoy about it?
It's an adventure game, and I think that, one glance at the screenshots will tell you that it's a very dry, high fantasy story where the obvious main appeal hook is that, this is like a anthropomorphic animal furry adventure story trying to do like a Redwall thing, but it doesn't really do anything more than that basic premise. And as an adventure game, it kind of fails because, like, you know how like games like Baldur's Gate or Ultima try to really sell scale of like a setting? Like they have like dozens of buildings. You have things that are like plausibly huge. Well, last week on the show, we were talking about how adventure games usually only have like, 14 screens total. And part of why they do that is so that even if you get stuck, there's a pretty finite number of locations where you can kind of stumble into what you need to do. So if you take an adventure game and you balloon up the scale, the number of locations, and fill them with meaningless rooms, it becomes way harder to find what's meaningful. So in Inherit the Earth, the quest for the orb, you will have these huge villages and cities and underground maze towns, and there will be like 20 houses, huge fairgrounds, and there will be a total of like 2 points of actual interest, and everything else is going to be empty houses. And it's not like, say, something like the Sherlock Holmes, like FMV games, where if you're, paying attention to the plot, then you know exactly where to go. This is more so you need to trial and error to find out where you need to go to. And it's usually something like, well, if you want to pick up this cup off the ground, then you need to know which park bench somebody left it at. And it's not a good time.
That sounds pretty miserable, yeah.
I thought it was funny also because like the premise of the game is that you are randomly accused by the authorities to have stolen the eponymous orb, and they have no reason to do this. Just like it's some racial profiling stuff. It's like, foxes are tricky. You probably stole the orb.
Oh.
And then basically after you are roped into having to conduct the investigation to find the orb because you are good at puzzle solving allegedly. You just kind of can just traipse around the fairground and accuse literally every NPC you encounter, which there's like a good 10 of them wandering around of being the thief on zero basis. So you feel like a huge hypocrite.
That does sound very unfortunate. I don't
It
like.
also has the broken sword problem where there's fewer puzzles than more so needing to exhaust dialogue in a very specific way before you can progress.
Mm-hmm. I'm not making a lot of progress over here. Speaking of progressing. By rotating this and then hitting this seed, am I gonna screw up the seeds themselves? Oh, wait. Hang on, this is a new seed. The other seed was in the middle here. There's another seed here.
Huh. Wasn't that kooky?
I guess it turned out that we did need the principle of sending the elevator down and then stepping out of it.
Well, let's, I guess, go back now and see if that further affected anything.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe not. I'm very puzzled. Yeah, there's definitely 2 domes here.
Well, let's take this one back and see what nonsense we can get up to. Like, can we have both seeds in the other side and then come back? And then reveal that, like, there's a walkway around where there's a cake and a pizza party, and, like, Josef is there, and he's our real dad.
Okay, so now both domes.
We got an orb inside an orb.
Yeah, the orb's in the orb.
That's what we call the orb turducken.
Yeah. Or the Obduction. Aha.
Now we can go over here and hope that it's got something Something that's not a locked door.
Finally, some progress. Another elevator.
It's like an aqueduct.
Bonk. Up or down, David?
Try down first, just in case.
Oh.
So, what's this doohickey? Looks like a periscope. Oh, it's an orb. It goes to Hunrath. The Mofang sure had a lot of raw materials laying around for all this stuff. Does the other side rotate the little ones? Because I feel like that's going to be important. Okay, so I think that our objective is to get to the bridge operator at the far side there. The big question is, where is there another like button to operate the little spinny bits?
This is what she was describing in her photo.
To impede progress.
Yes.
I mean, this isn't quite as bad as I was imagining.
Meant to be.
I had assumed that like the drawings at the bottom were of the like world seed like pattern. Like we've seen that kind of shape before, where like the four worlds are kind of part of a big circle. So either this is like a thematic connection or just a coincidence. Because this is essentially what we are doing this entire game, is trying to align the bits in different worlds so that we can, you know, progress through the whole.
Mm-hmm.
Is the other button over there just a call button for the elevator?
I think so.
And will this one let you send the elevator down? Or do you have to be a good boy?
Gotta be good. Well, let's see what that seed does for us. Oh, this is turned.
Okay, so this will... The times they be getting complicated. Okay, so we can rotate the orb. We just need to remember what direction we want it to go.
Oh, no.
Interesting that we need to sit and load for this bit. Maybe that's to spare us if we're just teleporting back and forth a lot. Okay, this should let us into... Actually, this is by the river.
Finally. Finally, that door is open. It's over here. Okay, this should be... Yeah, back to the double orb. Well, we have some shortcuts available to us now.
Mm-hmm. And I guess now we have a long way around to try and further fiddle with that particular spinny problem.
Yeah. Spinny problem indeed.
The resignation in your voice. So this only rotates 180 degrees, I believe.
Really?
And that's the impression I got. But let's double check. So left and up.
No, that's a 90-degree turn.
Okay, so we've got plenty of options here.
Love options. Big fan.
So I guess the big question is going to be kind of identifying what we want the main, like the big, what orientation we want the big circle, so we know how we want to orient the little circles.
Right.
So if our goal is just to get to the bridge operator, what's going to be the circuit that's going to get us there if we are able to rotate each of these little circles using this convoluted means? I also appreciate that Farley was kind of upfront about the fact that like this puzzle exists to waste your time.
Yeah. I appreciate her being so candid.
So yeah, we can enter the maze from this side here. So we want it to be, we need basically access directly below us, and we need the far end to connect to there. So and we can basically orient the maze so that we can access each of the little circles. So this kind of comes to a question of like where do we want the final resting place to be?
So, how do we want to rotate this first circle? I'm trying to tell where the entrance is.
Rotate it once, and let's see if it like we can visualize a path through.
The big one?
Yeah. So like that, like there will let us give us straight access, and I think the one on the bottom will give us straight access. So we basically are going to need to rotate the circle on the right enough. I think that's going to require 2 rotations to get it where we need it. And then we're going to need to rotate the top orb twice also to get it where we want it.
But how?
I think it's going to be the same either way, unless I'm mistaken.
Oh, the one beneath us is the rotator, isn't it? So we're going to have to put... Okay.
So we basically have to think ahead. Is like... so we rotate that one twice, and then rotate left again twice, then we should have a means to get to the bridge operator.
No. Okay, so it's going to have to rotate clockwise twice then.
I think that it won't matter which direction, because if we're basically rotating 180 degree.
Yeah.
So it's going to be one less thing to worry about. You're not going to screw up like the direction and then be like, nuts. I got to go back. I got to traverse the worlds. I didn't realize when I signed up with that Space Raspberry that I'd be rotating orbs in circles so much.
God, I don't know why I was expecting anything other than mechanical puzzles from a Cyan game. I was hoping for inventory and dialogue. What the hell?
Also, because I haven't bitched enough about Inherit the Earth, the one time they slam you with an explicit puzzle in this game where a alleged puzzle expert is playing is like, hey, we want to help you like build a telescope lens, but you got to be part of our secret club, so you're just gonna need to do a tanagram puzzle. And those are those puzzles where you're just like you're trying to fit all the shapes inside of a bigger shape.
Yeah,
and it's like it's very artificial. It's like I prefer it when the puzzles are a part of the narrative as opposed to being like, hey, Just do this word search. Just cause.
Yeah.
I think that's like I don't like say Castle of Dr. Brain. I have respect for that franchise. But it's also like it's not quite as satisfying because it's like, okay, you're just inventing existing puzzle types to that are just kind of in there arbitrarily.
Mm-hmm.
See, but this is way better because we know for a fact that they just wanted to waste our time.
Speaking of wasting our time, we did not rotate that piece correctly.
Which one?
That one there.
Uh-oh.
Isn't that the one that we were just working on?
Well, let's like put it back so we can get to our final destination. I think that one on the left is the one we're starting at.
So this is what we just did.
Yeah. So what we want for the one on the right is for it to connect to the only way it can. So I guess like is it going to need one more spin? It feels like it's going to overshoot if it's 90 degrees, but it has to connect somehow. I feel like at least like the top one we can't really screw up. It either has to be going up to left or up to right.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's try to make some progress by putting that one into place. That'll be 2 rotations.
Wouldn't it be funny if instead of rotating, in quarter circles, it's actually doing like 1/9 or something kooky?
Oh, God. Oh. Wait, there we go. Yeah, I've been pushing the bottom button. With the assumption that the top button is just the other direction. Okay, and it is. It has to be 90-degree turns because of the holes in the bottom. There's 4 doors.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think there's anything wacky going on there.
I feel like the game heard us bitching about the elevator noise and the rotations, and instead, like, oh yeah,
You want more, huh? Okay. So that part's presumably good.
we're still kind of just stuck with the one on the right, unless we want to try and access it from the other side.
So if we were to rotate this way, then we'd have a clear path here, but it'd be coming down here.
Yeah, but I don't think there's going to be any way for us to access that, if I'm understanding you correctly.
But,
So like with the bottom one, like we can only kind of go to the right path using that one, correct? Unless we just need to use a different like entry point.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Because yeah, like I'm like looking at the one directly below us, and it's like that rotating like 90 degrees, or like it's not going to, like a quarter circle is not going to make it line up perfectly, at least in my head.
Mm-mm.
So if we had to use a different access point to get to up to the top, what would we want to use?
Yeah, because this one, I just don't see how that's going to ever line up. Because this is the left, so that would just shuffle up to the top here, and it would bypass this completely. And then this side would just come over here, bypassing this.
Thematically, I feel like that's going to be the Mofang homeworld, because like that's the one where we can't really access, and right now it's kind of it's an obstacle, if anything.
Yeah.
So if we kind of consider that like slot dead, and And that's kind of a problem, isn't it? Because, like, what can we do with the top one if that's the case?
Well, furthermore, what can we do with the right one? Because if we rotate this, then this side will line up here, but then this will line up top.
Like, we should be able to get it to line up so that that right circle will go from right to bottom. If we like rotate it, unless I'm thinking wrong. I can imagine it fitting, but I think you're right. That probably is not going to work.
It's almost as if, this circle and this circle need to be swapped.
Kind of, yeah. But is it even theoretically possible? Do we need to like get some orbs from another world and then orchestrate some bullshit?
Well, that's just what I'm wondering is, do we even have what we need? Or is there something else that we have to do? Because, like, I can't even see how we could create any kind of a path right now. Like, let's try rotating this again. Yeah, like that. Will put us, like, just out of reach here. And there are no other exits here to go to the other areas. So, like, I feel there's either a control that we've overlooked,
I do think it's going to be... It's just going to be, like, seed shenanigans is what my assumption here. Because I think the observation you're making that they look like they need to be swapped is absolutely correct.
You know what? You mentioned a seed. I wonder if there's a seed on Hoonrath that we haven't seen yet because it keeps on traveling with us. I have an idea. So right now, the piece in front of us is an elbow. A perfect elbow. Let's see what's in that chamber if I go back there via the new shortcut.
That is a good idea, as they say in the business.
In the biz. In the adventure game biz.
I'm still also worried about this puzzle because I feel like that the big teleport isn't strictly needed.
Uh-huh. There's a straight piece here.
Can you believe this bullshit?
Yeah.
But do we want a straight piece is what I want to know.
Let's find out.
Could you imagine playing this game on like a computer with a pretty weak CPU and graphics card where it's just like the load times are 5 times as long?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so this slot isn't going to cut it unless like we explicitly like are able to swap pieces between different slots. Which I can imagine us doing if we just take a more circuitous route, but I feel like that hopefully that's not necessary.
Let's see. A straight piece here at the beginning would allow us to go straight into this elbow.
Well, also, like, I guess the straight one there would just like be able to go from that path to this right angle here. So maybe we want it. I don't know.
We do want it. Oh, we do want it somehow. So we have another elbow back in Hoonrath right now. And this also opens up the possibility of us moving the pieces around too. Oh, this is a brain burner.
We have a right angle right now. Where would we want to drop it? Because if we're going to swap, we're going to be swapping that back in.
Why don't we try this? We had talked about swapping this and this. Let's try doing that and see where that gets us. Because theoretically that would get us up to the bridge. Okay, so we are going to... Okay, so we're going to take this elbow with us and put a straight piece here. Then we're going to flip this around and put that elbow there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to flip it around again? That seems fine.
That's plausible. Listen, any, like, error in planning right now will just result in more loading screens, so it's fine.
Yeah.
That's what we're tuning in for here.
It costs only time, which we all have so much of.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you gotta flip this, put the other one there. And eventually we get to look forward to maybe seeing if we want to go to one of the other exits.
Remember when our biggest problem was what to do with the Ohio license plate? Okay, so now we need to rotate this twice again.
And then, theoretically, we're done, question mark?
I doubt it. We're probably still going to need that straight piece, but...
Probably for getting to a different destination.
Yeah, this should at least get us to where we're attempting to go right now.
I feel like that the bridge connector is going to be essential, but probably as soon as we activate it, we're never going to need that slot ever again.
That's kind of what I'm hoping, is that once we hit this, that we'll have some new shortcut to doing what we need to do. Okay. So
this better work.
Let's head down, and we need to rotate this clockwise one time.
Make sure it's the right direction.
That's why I said clockwise.
Rotate faster!
Couldn't they just give us a button on Murray to do this? Like, this is an interesting puzzle and all, but the amount of backtracking is just... It's a little bit much. You asked earlier if I still thought that the seed mechanic was interesting and novel, and I do, but I think they might have gone a little too far with it here.
I remember for like the development stuff for like Super Meat Boy talking about how like the key to make sure that people don't get too frustrated is getting them back into the action as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And I feel like that having to put a big loading screen in between of each step of this is it's dangerous.
But hey, we made it.
Yeah, we can get over there now. What, do you think that would do something?
I hoped.
Maybe it wants 3? Because there's 3 waterfalls?
Do you remember the number for 3? Because I don't.
Well, on the bright side, seems like it's brute forceable.
Oh, we've got another path down here.
We're close enough to the barrier that maybe we could, like, walk into something.
What I was thinking. So I agree about that shimmering wall. I wonder if we can walk through it somehow. But there doesn't seem to be a way from here.
Yeah. It's a little curious they give us this little vantage point, but it doesn't seem there's much to do currently with it.
No, there could be a seed later that brings us back here, though.
What bothers me about this is that we don't see much appreciable difference. Like we don't know what we're doing right now. It's not like the bridges, where at least something's happening.
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way. I'm not getting a sense of anything changing here. So I'm honestly not even sure what we're accomplishing.
Like, I have the impression, since it kind of auto-corrects when you input something, that, like, the direction doesn't matter so much as it just having kind of a default that it prefers. Oh, wait, that's the thing up there. Is that what's being affected?
Oh, yeah, that's probably it. Yep, that's what's being affected. Okay.
Okay, so that looks like it blocks off a rail. So we probably want it open.
And it only affects this one. There's another one further ahead. So yeah, I'm thinking that there's a rail system here that we're going to have to try to get through.
This is what we get for not looking up.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
that's a little anticlimactic.
So what I presume is that we're going to need to go on the left or the right to do anything new. And the right looks like it's going to make us walk straight into the barrier.
And I can't tell what the left is going to take us to.
It looks like
the left
it
is
goes
going
up
to
to
take
where
us
the
up to
rail.
the elevator, yeah.
But I think there's at least one more rail that we haven't barrier we haven't gotten rid of on the track.
Yes, unless the control is up there.
So I figure we may want to prefer taking the right path for now.
The good news is that one way or another, these two paths are going to be pretty easy to get to. The bad news is we're right out of time. Holy crap, this puzzle has been chewing up this entire... We've been on like 2 puzzles for this entire time. And I feel disappointed in our lack of progress, but that's okay. That's okay. We will succeed in solving this puzzle for you. Unfortunately, it will not be in part 6. Hopefully it'll be in part 7. Who knows? Maybe it'll be in part 8. I don't know. I hope not. But until we get to part 7, this is Rick reminding you to save early and save often.
And this is David reminding you that this is only foreshadowing for what's to come.
Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts. Feel free to scream at us in the comments for how dumb and obtuse we're being in this obscure puzzle. But hey, at least we're exploring Murray. At least we've been in the jungle. We've found the promise of the jungle planet, but at what cost? Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. Take care, and take care of yourself. Have a great day.
Bye.